Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Karkadash. That by honor to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone on down. Shout out to the whole righteous remnant of Israel, who have not been on hearers of the word, but doers also. Just a brother Yaramaya Ba, coming to you with a hopefully edifying word, story, and lesson. Today I just wanted to, touch on the spirit, wanted to touch on, hey, don't trust him, depart, depart from Esau, man. Don't trust in the fashions of this world, man, because it's gonna be passed away, man. All these things that we see today, that we hear today, all the vanity, all the folly, all the wickedness, ultimately is going to come to cease, man. Ultimately is going to be put out from the earth, man. Let me see if I can get that wickedness. Damn, I forgot. Roughly paraphrase. Right, come on. Proverbs 2:22. So but the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgression shall be rooted. Transgression shall be rooted out. So when the Lord comes back, all this is going to come to a cease, man. The wicked they're gonna be cut off, man. Esau, Edom. All the people, all other nations, all the the 2/3 Jake heaped up with Esau, man. Trusting in his system, man. And we know what he's trying to do. He's trying to implement the MOTB, man. Which we understand is that chip, and matter of fact, let me get that too, because this is coming. The apostles, elders on down, been talking about this for years, man. A very long time, man. 2 Corinthians 2:11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we see what this devil's trying to do, man. So if we see it and you're being warned, then why not move out the way? Why willfully remain in the congregation of the dead, man? But we ultimately understand that ultimately the will of the Lord, man. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Trusting in his enemy, ultimately is going to fall back on you, man. That's like going somewhere with somebody that's really important, and like they not really trustworthy. And when you go there with them, they end up effing you over, and you're just like, damn, I should have known, why would I trust this guy? Look what this man has done to our people. The Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, Latinos. So why trust him? Why? But ultimately, we understand why. Jake trusted him, because ultimately Jake is wicked, man. Jake is wicked, and they enjoy being wicked. The wicked are going to do wickedly. Psalms 55:21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart? So how Esau likes to sauce things up. How when the seed comes out, whether ultimately Esau might try to sauce it up, like, oh, it comes with a speaking as a man, I'm just saying he might try to be like, oh, it comes with this prepaid card, oh, it comes with $10,000, just making it sound good, But what was in his heart? His words were smoother than oil. Yet were they? But it's yet were they drawn swords? Basically talking nice with a whole dagger behind his back, man. Making it seem like he's doing it for the betterment of society, making it seem like he's doing it for the betterment of the world, man. But ultimately, this devil's destroying it, man. And that's why he has to be put out. He's destroying the earth, man. Matter of fact, let me see something. So again. Okay. Isaiah 14:12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did is weaken the nation? And this is talking about Esau, man. This isn't literally talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about the physical counterpart, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. How art thou fallen from heaven, a high place. Because ultimately he's gonna be put down, man. This devil's gonna be put down, man. Which did weaken the nation and all these things he's doing. Other nations mad at him. And shit mad at Trump. Seeing the BS that Trump's doing. The philosophies of this place. Spreading across the world, the influence. They have all drunk in the cup. Basically Esau, taking main partakers of the whoredoms, and ultimately Jake wants to be mingled in that. Jake wants to, they want to dibble and dabble in that, man. But hey, Jake, this like, hey, rise ye and depart, but it's not our rest. It is surely polluted, bro. Because hey, look, what's finna happen to this place is gonna be, it's unheard of, man. This place is gonna be leveled, man. So depart, man. And don't trust in him, man. Get away from this devil, man. Hate the abomination vehemently, man. Return into the righteous ways of the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Seek the Lord, man, while he may be found. Because hey, these times are coming really, really quick, man. The weeks are just going by just like that, man. It's happening really fast, man. I want to get this account too. John 8. I'm gonna start at 42. Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna start at 41. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, basically scoffers, man. Basically 2/3. We be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even Yahweh. Yahweh Shai said unto them, if Yahweh were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. And, there's also going to humility, how Yahweh Shai, he's giving all praises to the Lord, man. He's not saying like, oh, no, it was me. I preached the word. No, he's saying the Father sent him, man. Continuing, why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he's a liar and the father of it. He's basically telling Jake, like, hey, look, hey, you're after this nigga, man. Hey, no, this is your father, man. And this is talking about Esau, man. Going back to Cain. Cain murdering Abel in the garden, from the beginning, man. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, man. He was always crooked, man. He's that crooked serpent. So there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own will. Roughly paraphrasing how it is. But the Lord better call out. Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And, they always doing wickedness, man. You can't sleep like, damn, I ain't fuck up somebody today. Like, what can I do? Let me put bush in the air. Let me fuck up the water. Let me put this chemical in there. And this is the place that Jake is trusting in, though. These are the people that Jake is clinging on to, man. You're clinging on to a husk, man. You're clinging on to somebody that's, how Jake ever played the Batman Arkham games, and Arkham City with Harley Quinn was over Joker when he had got out the wheelchair and basically put the mask thing over Batman, and she like, look what you did to Mr. J, and she just standing over him. I'm like, bro, this nigga's gone, man. But basically, matter of fact, let me get this. Isaiah 31, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with their covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to the trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion, man. So trusting into this system, this place is spiritually silent in Egypt, man. But trusting in the shadow, of Egypt is going to be your confusion, man. Ultimately, trusting in this devil, saying why would the government lie to us? Just dumb things, man. Being simple, The turn away of simple shall slay them, Trusting the Esau system, thinking, look what Esau is doing. Look what the ice cubes are doing, man. They have a bigger budget than the military, man. So what's that saying, man? Not trusting the Lord, not even consider. He said, my people did not consider, man. Consider repenting to the Lord. They don't believe that the Lord is going to deliver them out of the times, out of bad times, man. But the Lord has already have delivered them from bad times, man. Even Jake in the world, man, be getting out of jams, bad situations. And that's because the Lord allowed it. But ultimately, Jake don't have faith, man. It wasn't given to them. The rebellious children. They have a covering, but not of the Lord, man. They don't have a cover. They have a covering, but not of the Lord's Spirit, man. So ultimately, they don't have a covering, man. And if they have a covering, this is because it's a wickedness, man. And it's not their covering that they have is not going to stop. It's not going to stop the destruction to come, man. Ultimately, the elect is going to be covered by the Spirit of the Lord, man. That's why they're going to be delivered at all these times, man. These people don't have a covering of the Lord, man. And that covered with a covering, but out of my spirit. So Salaki, God, a covering, but not of the Lord's Spirit, man. Covering a bunch of wickedness, abominations, filthiness, uncleanness. And ultimately they're going to be purged, man. They're going to be cleansed with fire, man. The same must know by death by pain, man. So, I didn't want to make this long, but depart from this world, man. Depart from this devil. Trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Real quick. Matthew 10:28, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell, man. Burn your ass up, man. I mean, don't fear somebody that could just, stab you and you just die out and they can't do nothing else after that. You're God after that, man. But fear him that can kill the soul, man. Both body and soul, man. Fear the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. There's nothing that Esau can do to you that'd be compared to what the Lord can do to you if you're on his bad side, man. So don't play that game, man. Don't forget who's the Father of all spirits, man. Proverbs 20:24, man's going to the Lord, say how they could a man understand his own way. Trust in him, man. Fear Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, depart from evil, man. But with that, we go praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakadash. Again, double honors to apostles and elders. Shalom.